Hi, everyone. Oh, okay. We're just going to wait a minute until we have a couple of viewers. I know there's some people just getting on. We're launching in about 1 minute. This is so exciting. Thank you for joining.
I'm so excited I can kind of barely stand it.
I know, right? It's like, eek! Okay, I know. This is always that like awkward beginning part where we're like, oh, let's just wait and see who's coming and who's going to show up and all that stuff. So we're just waiting, just get a couple people on. I know there's several people who are going to be watching us live. So we're just going to wait a minute. Thanks for your patience. And let's just keep this energy up because it's exciting. I hope I did it right. Oh, we have one viewer. Yay.
Yes.
Who's our one viewer? Let us know. Hi, Andrew. My new friend that I don't know yet, but we will get to know each other. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started shortly. It's so funny. I'm like, where are all my peeps at?
They're coming.
They're coming. They're coming. They're just so excited. Or maybe I'm just so excited. So, hey, Andrew, thank you so much for showing up. Can't wait till we connect a little bit after. Oh, yeah, we have 2 people on. Woo-woo! This is so exciting. Thank you guys so much. We're just going to wait another minute. And just to give you guys a sense, you're joining us for the Get Rich Book Club. I know we've been doing little like spurts of promotions for it, but if you're new, it's just, we're so excited you're here. If you're here, drop a little note. Let us know you're here so that we can just welcome you. Thank you. Woohoo! 3 people. James, we're making it. Hi, Anna. Welcome. Actually, I think that's Leslie. Leslie, hi, my darling. Hearts. Okay, we're just going to wait a minute because I know I have at least a few more people who said they were going to be here, especially our team members who have been working really hard with us for about 6 months to help create this. So
Can you believe it's been that long?
No. I can't believe we've been talking that much for 6 months, James, really. Ooh, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Okay, so, well, we have 3 people. What do you say? Why don't we just kind of get started because we're going to be talking a little bit about like the welcome and the logistics and things like that, and then we'll get right into the meat of the call. So let's go ahead and get started, and you guys feel free to comment, throw some hearts out, some likes. We look forward to this. This is just the beginning of, hi, Sarah, about 17-week book club. And we have some exciting things. So let's just get started. So for this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the setup. What is this about? Why are we doing this? And just wherever you are, welcome. This is so exciting. Hi, Jessica Ann, welcome. So this week, we are going into our very first book. Oh, wait. Actually, who am I? Let's start there. So, hi, you guys. I'm Erlinda, the Energy Alchemist. I'm all about transforming the bad vibes into good ones. I love increasing people's frequency to achieve their next level of success. And I am here today with James. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is James VanHofwegen. I'm a realtor here in Chicago, and I help people achieve their dreams through real estate. So I'm super excited to be here with Erlinda. I think maybe, Erlinda, we should give them a little taste of how this all came into existence, like where it all started and just why we're here to begin with. So why don't you...
Okay, I have to say this from the beginning because I'm seeing so many great people on here that I love, and I want to shout out to everybody, but then we won't ever get the book club started. So, hi everybody, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. Okay, so let's just tell you how the Get Rich Book Club started, okay? If you haven't watched our other video, it's kind of a fun story. Basically, I was in a seminar with somebody, and she was talking about this book called You Are a Badass at Making Money by Sincero. And I thought to myself, yep, James likes to be Vanna White over there. I thought to myself, oh, I've read so many books on this stuff. Like, I don't need to do another book, you know, like this. And she was telling me that James loved this book and that he was so committed and he really was diving into it, like audio and reading it. And for those of you who know James, or those of you who don't know James, James doesn't love anything. He's kind of you know, very realistic guy. Not really, you know, there's not like, there hasn't been a lot of love coming out. Like, oh my God, I love this thing, right? And James and I have been friends for a really long time. And, but friends, when I say friends, it was kind of acquaintances. And what I mean by that is because I'm really into the woo and the universe, and, you know, it's like synchronicity and serendipity and things like that. And James is a little bit more on the realistic side. That's not possible and things like that. I'll let him talk about it in a second. So when my friend told me that James loved this book, a spark in my eye was like, okay, I need to check this book out. Like, what is this all about that James loves this book? So I read this book, and the first 3 chapters, literally like 3 or 4 in the morning, I woke up and I was like, I have to create the Get Rich Book Club. And I don't know if you guys know, but I downloaded and wrote on a notepad all the things about book club and what it was all about, so that I can like really express like what this is for, because we really, really, really are excited. Okay. Because this isn't just your average book club. And anyway, so I read it and I was like, I called James up and I said, James, we have to do this Get Rich Book Club. And he, you know, was kind of like, no. I'm like, no, we really do. This is my jam. This is all about how do you elevate your frequency? How do you get rich? It's like, it's everything that I love. Hi. And so really, James, like, why don't you just, like, first of all, tell your side of the story, because I know, like, this is my side of the story, but tell your side of the story and how we kind of ended up here now doing live chapter by chapter for the Get Rich Book Club.
Yeah, so thanks. Like Erlinda said, I used to be kind of a low energy guy. A certain circle of friends of ours would kind of tease me that as I would walk into a room, you know, flowers would wilt, and I kind of used to be this Eeyore type personality, right? Like, oh, you know, whatever. And and then something happened like late April last year, that kind of jostled me and had me shift my focus on a few things in life. And one of my focuses that I noticed that I needed to shift was my relationship to money. So I started to dig into that a little bit, and I read this book that we're all here to discuss. And I'm an audio kind of guy, right? So I listened to it once and then twice, and I'm like driving around in the car listening to it. And I started talking to my friends about it, and, you know, like every time I would listen to it newly, I would pick something up. So then our mutual friend told Erlinda about it. Erlinda calls me and she starts going, James, you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then we're going to do this, and then that, and that, and that, and that. And I'm like standing here making eggs in the morning. And I'm like, well, Erlinda, I don't know if I'm going to do all that, but maybe we could do, you know, some other things. So one thing led to another. We started mapping it all out. Erlinda, next thing I know, Erlinda's got a whole team put together, and she's talking about doing Facebook Live. I'm like, I don't want to be on Facebook Live. Who wants to look at this face on Facebook Live? Like, come on, really? And she was like, yeah, we're doing it. So I said, okay, all right, we're doing it. So here we are. And really, we've got a very powerful intention. we're both here to really push everybody and lift everybody up to a new level that you'd never experienced before. And I don't know, that's my side of it. We got some really exciting stuff. So Erlinda, just let's start running.
All right. So when you read a book, and you've probably been to your average book club where you're in, someone's house and everybody's reading a chapter and you're discussing it. And it's always better when you have somebody to share and discuss it with, right? So what could be better than sharing it with a group of friends who are reading it also? So we do have some exciting stuff in store for you guys. And we want to just talk a really quick minute or two about why our Get Rich Book Club is better than your average book club in someone's house. And here's why: because it's live and it's free. And we've done a lot of work to actually support this. And we know that there's some technical glitches and some things that we got to work on, but we're here, we're doing it. We have a team of people ready to kind of move this forward. But what is our mission? Okay. Our mission in the Get Rich Book Club is all about community and contribution. Okay. So how can we build a community and really get rich such that we can expand our contribution, to ourselves, to our families, to our friends? So here's our intention. Our intention is to build a community of like-mindedness and thoughtful action, so you can leave linear methodology of producing results behind. With a combination of my Vibe Up protocols and setting with some great financial content, you are bound to get something out of what people are sharing and saying and getting out for themselves. And when you share yourself and when you interact with other people and you share problems or you give advice and all those different things, we are able to cause exponential results. So it really is about getting rich. And we're talking about a mindset shift. We're talking about an energetic shift. And we're going to talk about why this is different. Is because how do you read a book and take it from the mental knowledge and capacities into the energy field? And how do you have your vibrational frequency match that new level of success that you want? So we have different layers in here. We're going to tackle it from many different areas, and we're excited you're here. So James, why don't you just tell us a little bit about, what you get kind of out of being in the Get Rich Book Club?
Yeah, so let's go over just some of the logistics real quick, right? Being part of the Get Rich Book Club gives you immediate and complimentary access to the club's structure of study, insights, and community of people who, just like you, are engaging in the study and practice of increasing their effectiveness in creating the income, wealth, and abundance that they want in and for their lives. Okay? Your role, because you have a role too, right? Just by participating, it's not a passive thing, this book club. So buckle up. Your role in the club will be to cause breakthroughs in your mindset and your finances, and to share those results as you actively participate as a member of the club. Okay, so through your active participation and your sharing of results, we're going to be able to take that feedback and the results that you produce, and we're going to fine-tune the format of the club to really maximize the results for all of the participants, including you. So dig in, share, just go full bore on this, you guys. Please, it'll make it so juicy and so worth it for everybody.
And I want to just take 1 minute here, and for our other calls, we're just going to dive right into content. We'll do like a 1 minute introduction. But for this first call, I just really want to say a special thanks to the business team and the beta testers who've been working with us over 6 months to kind of get this out. So just thank you for that. And to all the people joining and all the club members, really, we know that there's some operational system stuff that need to be fine-tuned, and we're working on that. And thanks for your support and diving right in, because this is like a big deal. Also, why don't you guys, just remember to share. We'll be here next week, 4 p.m. Central, and we're going to really take on chapter 2. But let's just dive into the introduction of this book, James. Why don't you go ahead and start this, and let's start this journey.
Yeah, definitely. So like Erlinda said, please invite anyone else you can think of that you think that this book might, or this, not just the book, but the book club too, would impact their lives, and we really look forward to enjoying this journey with you. Thanks again to our business team. You guys are amazing. You guys have done so much. Thank you. All right, we're digging in. I got my book. You guys got your books? Ready to go. All right. So the introduction to this book is golden, right? And we're not gonna spend too much time on it, but what makes the introduction of this book so good is that the author Jen Sincero just kind of takes the issue by the throat and says, look, there are a couple topics that are taboo in our society right now, right? And Erlinda's smiling for a reason. I know what that reason is.
I think James just loves bringing this up. That's why I'm laughing. What are the two areas, James? Tell me.
All right. Topics that we're supposed to be masterful with, but never talk about are money and sex. And we're going to talk about money this time. All right. We'll talk about sex some other time, but right now we're focusing on money. So, see, it didn't hook me this time, did it?
No, it didn't.
All right. So, but really, that's kind of a profound statement, right? Like we're all supposed to be, make tons of money and be masterful with money, and we're supposed to be these, sex gods in the bedroom or wherever else, but we're never supposed to talk about it. Like what? How? That's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous if you think about it. So, so the intro is, it gets into some of her personal stuff. Like she had no idea what she was doing until she was 40. Now, I don't know. We're both, Erlinda and I, are under the age of 40, so we've got a few years to figure it out, maybe. But for a guy like me, like that gives me a little bit of hope, like because look, I majored in economics and finance. I know how money works, right? So why don't we?
You majored in economics and finance?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know. No. This is hilarious. Actually, that gives me a little twist. And you guys will know how James and I work. This will be a little flavor of how these are going to go. But James, I had no idea. So there's this whole opportunity of you and I had no idea. I mean, I knew you were a tax guy. I think you did taxes. Oh my God, you did taxes. But this actually gives it. Your former life. Now you're into real estate. No, I totally get it. But this is actually really good because, you give this aspect some credibility, right? So you really are merging the world of finance and economics with the world of woo and spirituality, which is what I bring. So, I never knew that and how perfect that would be here. So continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So majored in finance and economics. I know how money works. Why am I not swimming in it? Really, right? Why am I not Scrooge McDucking it right now? There's no reason except there's some other stuff working in the background, and that's what we're here to talk about, right? So I think, I don't know, Erlinda, do you have anything that you want to add for the introduction?
No, let's dive really into it. Really, you guys, we're not supposed to talk about money. So James and I are like, we're going to talk about money. We're going to bring it on the court. We're going to get real with it. We're going to share some stuff that we've dealt with, some breakdowns, some breakthroughs. This is for real. And this chapter, we're going to dive right into chapter number 1. Okay. And it's really about allowance. So if you guys haven't read the introduction, read it at your time. We're going to dive into allowance. Okay. Because this is one of the biggest things that blocks. It's no accident that Jen Sincero started with allowance. Okay. So James, why don't you read the bullet point and then let's talk about it. So we're going to give you the bullet points now, a couple bullet points for chapter 1. And then as we're talking, we're going to give the bullet point and then we're going to talk about it a little bit. Okay. So go ahead and do that and let's roll.
Yeah. So the first thing that jumps out for chapter 1 was that we'd rather do what's expected of us than to give ourselves permission to be, do, and have what feels good, right, and awesome. Right? So
people love to tell you like what you should and shouldn't want,
right,
regardless of how you feel about it. Like literally they like, oh no, but you should like this. Oh no, you should do this. And if you think about it, just as James is telling me about his background, right? And we're talking about finances and spirituality. It's like all of a sudden people are like, oh no, you should do this. And even though we don't feel like we should do something, we just go ahead and dive ourselves into it because we are so malleable. If we listen to other people long enough, we start to tell ourselves that what we should and shouldn't want. Okay. So regardless of how we feel inside, we start to do what's expected of us. Okay. Instead of giving ourselves permission to like dive deep and look and see what can and what do we want. We can get stuck in what other people want for us for years and even lifetimes instead of going in instead of upsetting somebody or disappointing somebody, right? We just kind of follow it because people are always telling us what we should do.
Yeah, and the example that she gives in the book is the example of her friend with the owl gifts and how it just kind of spirals out of control and the owl always love you t-shirts and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden one day she was like, look, I've had it with these damn owls. Enough. Like, love you guys, but please, no more owls. And if that's the kind of breakthrough that we're here to cause with regard to money, right? Like, okay, look, I got it. You guys think that I deserve X, Y, or Z, but that's not the game I'm playing anymore. I'm playing this other game, and you can come along or not, but this is the game that I'm playing. And that's the kind of breakthrough that we're here to cause, not just for you, but for ourselves as well. So we're right here on the journey with you.
We're on the court too. And if you think about it, when I was younger, I think it was, I don't remember exactly, maybe college or younger, I used to like animal print, like zebra print. And I had like dishes and all these things, right? And at some point, it's like, enough, right? I'm done with that. Like, I'm over that phase. But then people would remember that, right? So that's what, once you say something or you say you like something or even if it was years and years ago, people are still getting you into this little box, right? And then instead of disappointing them because they got you another owl or another zebra print like thing, you just like, oh, thanks. And you just keep stacking it up. And sometimes you have to interrupt that, like, and look and see what feels good and right and awesome to myself. Like, give yourself permission to feel good, to feel right, and to feel awesome. Okay? Sorry. I do this. I get on my little rant. So you guys will either love me or hate me, and it's okay either way because I will be in your face and I will be all over the place, and James will get us back on track. So go, James. What's the next bullet point?
Yeah. So the next thing that jumped out in this book was a quote from another book by an author by the name of Wallace Wattles. And if you're an audiobook guy like I am and you listen to the audiobook version of this book, the way that she reads the quote is priceless because she says, she provides a quote, which is, whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. Right? So I'll say that again. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. And then she says, whatever Wattles, and I don't know, I just had to say that. But if you think about it, that's a profound statement. And it's not to say that you can't be fulfilled in life if you're not rich. But really, what does being rich provide? What does money provide in this world that's not otherwise available without it? Right? Erlinda, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah. So this book, I actually read this book a long time ago, and we really, you guys, we are here to live a really complete and successful life. Okay. And you really can't do that if you don't have money. Like, if you can't eat, or you can't just your basic stuff. And if you're on this call, we at least know you have Facebook and at least a phone and or a computer. Okay. So really, this is an opportunity for us to really live successful lives. Okay. And one way to do that is to get rich. And yeah, she says, whatever, Wallace, because it seems like, it's like, oh, this is so easy, just get over it, right? And sometimes when you're in the spiritual realm, like I was for many years, it's like, okay, if I'm a good person and if I have good karma and let me meditate and whatever. Not diminishing those things. You guys got to get that. Okay. I'm not diminishing that. I do that stuff. I believe in all of it, but there's a difference between like learning, right? Like what we're doing here, learning it and applying it and altering your energy and your mindset to be able to fulfill on it. Okay. So on this chapter of allowance, really, can you and are you willing to allow yourself to have and live a really complete and successful life? And you can't do that unless one is rich. So that's one thing. And we want to start to kind of get into the word money a little bit, okay? So why don't you talk about money and decriminalizing that word for us, James?
I mean, yeah, let's decriminalize the word money. Okay.
So yeah, first of all, you guys, I hope you have your little workbook or a little note. I want you to just write down, when you say the word money, what's automatically there? Or actually drop it down in the little, I don't know, whatever you call it, where people comment. Drop down, like just write a word, like when you think of money, do you think of evil? When you think of money, like, you know, do you think of power? And then do you think of greed right after? Like, what do you think of when you think about money? Let's hear from a couple people. Let's see. So drop a comment down there. Y'all being shy. You know what I think it is? I think there's a little bit of a delay from where we are, James. Yeah, so people drop it in. So why don't we just talk a little bit about us and the word money that we talked about, James, that we had for ourselves. For me, money was really just, it's like not enough. It's just, that's what's there. Yeah, struggle. Yeah, thank you. It's struggle. It's not enough. It's non-existent. It's only for the people who are born into it, like, or you have to work really hard for it. Pretentious, yes, right? And if you're pretentious, you can't be this. Or can you be spiritual and be rich? Grouchy people, exactly. Grouchy and greedy, yeah, exactly, you guys. So, you know, can you see, this is just a couple people saying something. It also means freedom. So there's also the upside, right? Freedom and options and different things like that, right? So the point is that hard work, exactly. So you guys are doing so great. So just think about this for 1 second, okay? Money, you say the word money, and so many different perspectives show up. There's the negative, yes, there's opportunities, there's the positive, there's all these different things. So you just want to write down some of the things that you're thinking about when you hear the word money, okay? And you want to start to not have the charge around it, okay? So like, if you think about it, as many people are on this call, 10, 12 of us, right? And all the thousands of people that are going to watch it later, each person is going to have a different, you know, thought and an idea about what money means, okay? So if there's 1,000 people, there's 1,000 different views, right? And you just want to notice what is your particular views about it. Because if we can just get that distance between that reaction about money, it will give us so much freedom and options, okay? So you want to pay attention to your mindset. How do you think about money? Even the people with money.
I forgot about
your favorite thing. Go ahead.
Okay, guys. So just like we had everybody like write a little thing in the comment section, what happens when you say the word money or hear the word money, right? Check this out. I want you to put in the comment section your immediate reaction right now, okay?
James, where's my gift? You guys see that? He's showing $100 bill for those who aren't paying attention.
So I know that, so for the people who were on the beta test, right, we had done this before and I'd held this up. Okay, yay, yeah. Carrie's like, yeah, give me some of that. All right, good.
Hi, Carrie.
Yummy, awesome. Okay, good. I could use that. I don't have any of those. All right, yep. So you see that there are many different conversations about this little piece of paper, right? And we're gonna talk more about that a little bit later.
Well, will you
in another chapter. But
will you share your story, James, of when you had friends over just share that little story really quick.
Leslie's heart's beating faster. That's good. I had, there will come a point where we get into this in the book, but I have about 5 of these guys around the house, strategically placed. And I did that for a reason that we're going to get to in a later chapter. But I had a few friends of mine over, one of which I would love for him to be part of the book club, and he'll probably join soon. But he was like, yo, why do you have all this money laying around? And he's like, should you put that away or something? Like, what are you trying to do? And I explained to him, I don't know how much to tell because I don't want to give it all away. But I told him that, look, I've got it around because I want the charge to be removed from seeing this piece of paper, right? So I want to be able to see $100 bill and not be weird about it, right? Because once I'm weird about this, like in any way, like if I'm too excited or if I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of money, right? There's that charge there, and that's a form of resistance that's going to keep me from having what I want when it comes to this, right? It's a relationship that I have with this piece of paper and the number written on the piece of paper that's going to determine how I am about it, right? So I don't know if that makes much sense, but I explained it to him. He was like, wow, that's really cool.
Also, this stuff right here. So it's like, this is paper. This is other money, right? This is from Vietnam. Wow. And look at the numbers here, right? It's so fun, but this is paper. And it's like, how do you, we have so much charge on paper. This is paper. It's pretty. It's.
Hey, where's my gift?
And so you just want to start to look and see, like, what's your charge around it? What do you have about it? Okay. And how willing okay. So really, let's just take a quick, I'm going off topic, of course, but let's take a quick 1 to 10 scale. Does someone do a little angry face? Okay. So if at a scale of 1 to 10 in your allowance, right? 10 being like, well, you welcome everything and you allow everything. What's your rating? I want you to rate yourself. So go ahead and drop it in there or write it down on your piece of paper. Just rate yourself, okay?
And while you're
10, go ahead, James.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, right? 10 being the most amount that you're fully allowing the money in, right? 1 is like your, right? And I've got another story about that, perhaps at a later time. We really want to begin to decriminalize the word money, right? Not just the word, but the substance itself. Because what does it actually do for us, right? Money, when we think about it, it gives us a couple things, couple big things: freedom and options. And so, real quick, we're rating ourselves with regard to our allowance for money coming into our lives, right? 10, from 1 to 10, right? So Sarah put up a 4, 8, right? So a 10 would be like, you allow all the money into your life, no problem, no questions asked. 1 would be like, whoa, don't want any money. Nope, not for me, right? So if you're not a 10, there's a charge there for you. And we want to start to take that charge away, and so that when money shows up, your first reaction isn't, whoa, I can't accept that. It's like, oh, thanks. And it's just like someone gave you a sandwich or something, right? Yes. So we want to take that charge away, and we want to also start to pay attention to our mindset. Okay, so Erlinda and I, and some of you, most of you probably on the call, live in Chicago, and we're right downtown. Chicago can be a very opulent city, right? We sometimes see Lamborghinis and Bentleys and all sorts of luxury cars driving down the street. you know, we see people with a lot of money and we see people with no money at all on a daily basis. And every time you see someone, whether they've got a ton of money or they've got zero money at all, we want to start to pay attention to our mindset and examine how we think about the money and the people with the money and the things that the people with a lot of money have that require large sums of money to acquire. All right. So for instance, you might see someone driving down Michigan Avenue in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Bentley, right? Pick your flavor. And you might roll your eyes. You might say, oh my God, here we go again. This a-hole needs to be, you know, whatever. That is a conversation you have. That's not a conversation that that person has about themselves driving in their whatever kind of car, right? It's for them, it might just be a car for them. Or it may be a milestone that they reached that they could afford that car. It may be a justification for something, right? So their conversation about that car is completely different than your own. And unless you're driving that car, you might want to look at that, right? You might want to say, okay, well, could I afford that car? No. Well, okay, well, why not? Maybe it's because I've got this conversation playing in the background about that person that has that car because of the money involved. And now we're starting to dig and to pull apart that resistance as it pertains to money and the charge associated with it.
Great. So one of the things that Jen Sincero talks about in this chapter, which this is kind of what I want to say is kind of like your declaration, okay, your line in the sand. Jen Sincero talks about we refuse to give ourselves permission to become rich. We refuse, okay? So I want you, like, so wherever you are, we have some high people, we have no one yet out of 10, but, you know, you might be thinking, you know what, I'm other areas, like I can receive compliments out of 10, or I can receive like free Starbucks out of 10, right? But maybe you're not at a 10 at money, okay? But one of the things she talks about is this refusal to give ourselves permission to be rich. So before I have you guys, you know, write down below and declare, I give myself permission to be rich, to become rich, right? I want to just dive a little bit in and talk about what is rich. And Jen Sincero talks about this in this chapter. She talks about like able to afford all things and experiences required to fully experience your most authentic life. I'm going to say that one again, okay? The rich, able to afford all things and experiences required to fully experience your most authentic life. Kind of cool, huh? And notice how it's like we don't give ourselves permission to become rich, to be rich. You know, because it's not the obstacles, right? It's not the lack of ideas or the opportunities or the times or that we're stupid or anything like that. It's really just a refusal to give ourselves permission to become rich. So take a minute right now and drop a little thing right there. This is what I want you to write, because this is a line in the sand. This is like, okay, you know, this is it. Like, you know, you might not understand, like, okay, so what? I've read financial books. I've studied financial stuff, you know, in college or whatever. You might not understand kind of what we're creating here, but with the mental mindset shift that Jen Sincero and the financial information and the energetic work, we're actually going to alter this. So write down below, I give myself permission to become rich. And that's going to be noted today, that this is the line in the sand. Sound effects by James.
So as you're doing that, guys, there's something powerful about making a declaration like this and putting it in existence, especially on a platform that's shared, right? Carrie, awesome.
Thank you, Carrie. Woohoo!
Leslie.
Leslie.
So as we move forward, we're going to start to get into the energy that's associated with and the power of our word and speaking something and watching what we say and being mindful of what we say and what we don't say. Okay? So for all of you who are making this declaration, you're putting something out into the universe that may not have previously existed. And you've now told us and the universe that you are giving yourself permission to become rich, to be able to afford all of the things and experience required to fully experience your most authentic life. Okay, so this is a big moment, you guys. Whether you believe it or not, and whether it seems like it or not, I acknowledge each and every one of you that are making this declaration for doing it and participating fully, because it's something magical. All right, so really great job.
Yeah, and what you guys, I don't even know if James knows this, but there are a lot of different energetic forces that are around this book club, okay? Really, there's this energy and blessings that are here present in this sphere that we're creating, okay? So really, this is a declaration to the universe. And I just want to let you know that sometimes when we make bold declarations, what immediately shows up is breakdowns. It's wherever it's not that. It's as if the universe is trying to say, oh yeah, you want that? Are you sure? And test you a little bit, okay? So I want to say that because this is the time when we're looking and we're mapping and we're like, okay, okay, I'm declaring this, right? And we think it might be easy because, oh yeah, the universe and I are besties, and but sometimes the universe is like, okay, is this really what you want? And it's truing you up to achieve that. So I want to make sure that you're aware that throughout this process, it's like a roller coaster ride, okay? Keep your seatbelts on. It's going to be over 17 weeks. We're going to go through a lot of different dialogues, a lot of different ups and downs. Stay along for the ride, okay? But this is the day you made your declaration. Go ahead, James. I know you're wanting to jump in. Go ahead.
So said another way, what Erlinda just said is that once we make a declaration or once we identify something that we want and we put that out in the universe, what exists is that which we desire and the absence of it. Okay, so sometimes what will show up is that which we desire, and sometimes what will show up is the absence of it, right? What you want to make sure of is that your attention is on the actualization, the manifestation, and the obtaining that which you actually desire, and that your attention is not on the absence of it, right? So that's a key thing, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, James, it's a little complicated. So I know you were trying to simplify my conversation, but if you had to get really like down on the dirt and on the ground, like what would you say? Just focus on what, yeah. So I know you're trying to communicate something. I didn't land for me quite yet.
Focus
so
on what you want.
Or what you desire, right?
Right. Focus on what you desire.
Yes.
And make sure that your focus is on that thing, that which you desire, and that your focus is not on the absence of or something that you don't want. Clear?
Okay, so I think what you're saying is, and just to tie it in with what I was saying, because I'm really committed that people get that, like, it's not going to be roses. All of a sudden, I'm telling you, I've tried to sit and meditate and like, please God. And sometimes it works. Sometimes I got random free and amazing money from like God, right? But literally it's, things are going to come up in the way, but you have to take action, focus on what you desire. action. Okay. So just, I wanted to prepare you between this week and next week that if you deal with some kind of resistance or some breakdowns, don't worry about it. Stay focused on your vision of what? Becoming rich, right? You just gave yourself permission. There's no denying it. It's in the universe. It's printed. If you didn't write down below at any time, write down below. I give myself permission to be rich. And anytime in the Get Rich Facebook group, if you forgot, write it again, okay? And you declare it again, because we're standing for that and we're listening for that, okay? So everywhere where you are right now, I want you to say this, okay? I want you to say, I love money. Say it out loud. I love money. Woo! Wee.
Love it.
Woo! So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that came up as people were saying, I love money out loud, a lot of energetic stuff. So you just want to notice all the things that came up in your mind, you know, use the workbook, use a journal, start writing down all those things. So say it again, I love money, and just notice what comes up.
I love money.
James, I love you, James. You're so great. Okay, you guys. So my personal declaration for deliberate creation, totally key. Deliberate creation, yes. Alexa, make sure you write, I give myself permission to be rich. Okay, you guys. So really, James, why don't we dive into just one of the questions in the homework that if you guys haven't done the homework, there's still time. At any point, catch up, dive in. But let's go over question number 4. And let's just read that question and then have people kind of comment in the below about question number 4, okay?
Yeah, so
Oh, is that Bridget?
wow.
No, it's not Bridget. It's Bernadette. I think it's Bernadette. Oh, Bernadette, you're my girl. Totally. 444. I love money mantra at 444. Woo!
That was cool.
Sorry, that was pretty woo-woo. I love it. Okay, so go ahead and do number 4, James.
Okay, so guys, one of the biggest things that we're going to be doing is actually doing the filling out the answers to the questions at the back of each chapter. If you haven't already received the little workbook that gets put out, we're going to be doing that.
Actually, just so you know, you just go to erlindavo.com and you join the book club and you'll get chapter 1, and then you'll get each of the chapters each week as we progress.
Perfect. So, and you know, you don't have to wait for the workbook to come out. You can take a notebook and do them yourself, right? Because you got the book and you got the questions and you're ready to rock and roll. So let's do it. Number 4 is make a list of how you being rich will benefit others. And this is a cool one, right? So basically we're taking money and we're not making it all about us. We're making it about what we can use our riches for out in the world to benefit someone other than ourselves, right? So, Erlinda, do you have your list in front of you?
No, I don't. I'm sure actually I do. It's in my Evernote, but I want people to kind of just popcorn down there because there is like, we can share our list, James, and we're going to be sharing a lot more personal stuff that we've kind of gone through, and I can find my list, but I really want you guys to take a minute right now while we're on this call to like how you being rich will benefit others. Okay. Sometimes people, we do things better when we're doing them for others. Okay. Now we're hopefully at the end, we're going to start to shift this. And some of the questions that Jen Sincero talks about is like, what are all the reasons why you deserve money? Right. So right now, just kind of look and see and start to list below some of the things of you being rich will benefit others. And so for me, I'll just go off the top of my head. I'm not going to find my list right now, but off the top of my head, how me being rich will benefit others. Well, you know, first of all, I get to do things like this. And get to travel and get to do things that help take care of my energy so that I can best serve my clients and my customers. And that's really, really important to me because, you know, my whole mission is to vibe up the planet, as you know, and I do that one thing at a time, one person at a time right now. And those people, when I have money and I'm rich, I get to then spend my time focusing on the next level of energy so that people can have more healing for themselves, right? And even this call, you guys, honestly, I was like, James, this is a free book club, but it costs some money to do some things on this book club, right? And so even just being rich in that aspect is to have enough money so that I can be able to do things like this that I love, which is contribute and build community. So yeah, providing education and inspiration for your children. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Dan, thank you, Carrie, for completely participating full out here. Yeah. And think about the philanthropy we can do too, not only for like, you know, your own children, but the world and, you know, or those homeless people you see and just the contribution you get to make by giving actual money, by being rich and supporting people. So James, you want to share your list since you have it open? And I'll see if I can find
will share part of my list. Sure.
Okay.
So given I work in real estate, right, I'm essentially self-employed. One of my big things is to begin to generate enough business, enough income. I'll be able to give my mom a rewarding, high-paying job doing something she loves, right? Like I could actually employ my mom to do something that she loves to do, right? So that could be something that money could get you, right? Another thing would be donating to the arts. You know, we've had a lot of cutbacks in the areas of education and art funding. Same thing for the sciences, right? Care for your family members, really great, Tiffany. You know, another big thing that I'd like to be able to do is build community health and education centers. There's a prime example of something like that that was created by the founder of Land's End, Gary Comer, who grew up on the south side of Chicago, not too far from here. He's got a college prep school, a children's hospital, and another youth center that are just amazing facilities, you guys. And I mean, he created Land's End, right? If you don't know what Land's End is, it's a retail catalog. Well, I think it's sold in Sears, but Sears is a whole other conversation now. But it's generated a lot of wealth for him and for that community now too. And yeah, really great. Take care of, nurture your body, create expansion.
Clean water for people. Yep. Less stress in the family.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are all great things, you guys. And so start to, as you start to create this, start to realize that by somehow limiting yourself from not being, by limiting yourself from being rich, you are closing off those opportunities for other people that you could be providing. Okay?
You can adopt another child. Yeah, Burnett, I got that. Yeah, help my parents and my sister. Yeah, nieces go to college. Yeah, amazing. You guys, those are amazing stuff. And you guys being here on this call literally is a line in the sand. And yeah, it is, and we will benefit. There will be huge benefits by you being rich. And one of the lines Jen Sincero says, which I have to say it, she says, there is no such thing as too much awesome. So really, to be your greatest and your greatness, let that shine, your badassery, right? There's just no such thing as too much awesomeness. So really being rich and being able to like help your parents get clean water, help your children, charities, this, that, adopting, like literally, you guys, those are amazing things. And then, you know, also I want to just mention this because this is also valid. There is the benefits others will provide, but imagine being able to have the home that you wanted or you dreamed of, right? So that you can actually feel at home and feel your awesomeness and contribute your awesomeness to others. So it gives permission by you guys claiming your permission. It gives others permission to shine, to be awesome, to be rich, to be, you know, right? And like James said in the beginning, these are two conversations, money and sex, that, you know, we're supposed to be really on point with it and never talk about it. And if we can't talk about it, how can we actually discuss and discover and inquire and learn and explore and expand, you guys? So really keep working on the assignments. There's some major breakthroughs that happen when you're doing an assignment. And really, there's just no way you can have too much awesomeness, okay?
Quick.
Yeah.
I wanna just touch on something real quick, because I know that we dove into this conversation in the beta test, but we haven't touched on it here. And it's part of the assignment for this chapter. I'm not going to get too much into this. If you want to hit me offline, go ahead. I'll be happy to share everything with you. But the first question in the list of questions is make a list of all the reasons why you deserve money. Remember what I'm talking about? So I read the word deserve, right? And it triggered something. And at one point I took on that there was a conversation that said, inherently we don't deserve anything in life. And I took that on as like, I don't deserve anything in life, right? To get the contextual difference, there's inherently not deserving anything versus I don't deserve anything, okay? And when I saw that, I was like, well, I don't deserve money. And then it hit me, and I said, oh my goodness, if I'm saying that I don't deserve, what else am I saying that I don't deserve? So then I got that deserving is a created context, and I got to actually say what I deserve. And you guys, that was the first thing that really hit me in this book. I wrote out page after page after page in this notebook. I think there are like 4 or 5 pages. I wrote out what I deserve. And I got to create for myself what I actually deserve. So anytime you see something like that, anytime you get triggered by a word like that, feel free to recreate or to rebuild that relationship for yourself to that word in particular. Because each time you do that, it's going to be something super powerful, I promise you. And like I said, if you have any questions about that, hit me offline. I'd be happy to share the whole story with you. I won't share the list with you because it gets kind of personal.
Yeah, and James can respond in the closed book club group. You know, he'll add a couple of his key points. It was really amazing because, you know, when I first did this too, I was very superficial. Oh, I just, you know, this is why I deserve it. I'm a good person. But really dive deep and really look at the word deserving is what James is trying to point to. So, you know, he'll talk a little bit more about that in the closed Facebook group. One thing I want to say right now is that before we leave, drop down below, I am grateful to money because, and I want you to fill in the blank, okay? This is part of the homework assignment. If you haven't done this yet, just put a couple things in. You're grateful to money because, and let us know what your thoughts. And we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute. I want you to know if there's anybody who's kind of tech savvy and wants to be a part of our little team here, I really could use a little bit of help with that. So just an FYI, if you know anybody or if that's you, reach out to vibeup@erlindavo.com. We just need a little bit of help. Like, for example, we want to be able to send out text messages to you guys of the money mantras. Because those money mantras, I'm telling you, James and I did a whole hour, which maybe we'll post it in the closed group, a whole hour talk about the money mantras. Like that money mantra text message popped up and whoa, did we have some reactions around it, right? So right below, I want you to write, I'm grateful to money because, and write what you're grateful to money because, and we'll start to wrap up in just a minute. Yes. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for what you do and what you provide to so many people too. And I know what you do, so thank you. Yes, thank you, Jessica Ann. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. So the thing I want to leave you guys with, yeah, it takes care of me. So the money mantra, just so we're all clear, is I love money because I love myself. So really, I want you guys to know that when I heard this money mantra, I was so excited about the I love money. Like, I'm like, yes, I love money. And then it says, because I love myself. And that's where I had my hang up. So in the closed group, we'll post a video of James and I's discussion about this. But I was like, but I don't love myself. And and that was like really a big, huge pill to swallow. So as you guys are doing these money mantras, there's some, I believe, Sarah, you can put a little note. I believe there's room for people to write what comes up when you hear the money mantra. Eventually, when we start this text messaging, I love money because I love myself, you'll notice things that are like, you might not like the I love money part, or you might not like the I love myself part. And you'll start to have to deal with like what's in the way. Like for me, I was like, but I don't love myself. And so I had to really deal with that over the last 6 months. It was like, wow. And like literally yesterday and today was the first time that I love myself. Like I love money because I love myself. And I love all aspects of myself. And I can authentically say that probably for the first time since James and I started doing this, where I even noticed that that was an issue with me. Okay. So that was one result. And that's a huge result for myself. And we're going to talk more about many, many different things. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I can't even express my profound gratitude, but really you're extraordinary. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. Just profound gratitude for this, really carving out a new conversation and dialogue in the world, in a conversation we're not supposed to talk about. So thank you so much. And please forward this video to your friends. Invite your friends for next week. We're going to go on to chapter 2. And you should get an email with the workbook for chapter 2 in the next day or two. And again, just so much love and gratitude. Any last words, James?
Thank you guys for being here. It's super exciting. I don't even know what it means to have like 11 people watching us live. Like I've never done anything like this before. So so for me, this is a whole new adventure. I'm super excited. I hope that Erlinda and I are able to contribute something really valuable to you guys. And thank you for your attention, and thank you for embarking on this journey with us and digging into the conversation. Because it'll make a profound difference, not just for you, but for your entire family and probably for generations to come. So thanks for being here. We're excited. We're super excited. We're looking forward to every week, and just, stay tuned. Keep coming back week after week, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, you guys, thank you so much. And our hashtag is Get Rich Book Club. And literally invite people. It's a free conversation, and we're just looking to create community and contribution. So thank you so much. And we love you. Hearts, hearts, hearts. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.